Bungie just dropped a massive new article called Bringing Challenge Back to Destiny. In today's video, we will be reading and reviewing it together. I've got Dwayne with me in the Discord. Here we go. Here we are with another update, this time coming from our World Systems team and focusing on the changes coming not only to Vanguard Ops, but also Nightfall's raids, dungeons, and more. Nightfall is almost upon us, and a lot is changing in the game. Proof of that is build crafting abilities, weapon sandbox, and weapon crafting articles from last few weeks, which I've covered all of those already. But we also wanted to share some details on how we're improving several activities in order to better reward your efforts, especially when you face the hardest content Destiny 2 has to offer. Everything hurts now. How much? Well, that depends on you. Philosophically, we are attempting to bring the difficulty levels of Legend closer to the popular Legendary campaign experience. Interesting, I like that approach. And the Master experience closer to Day 1 raids. Nice. At the same time, any difficulty ritual content is designed to last many playthroughs over multiple seasons, so we're making some changes week over week and season over season to keep them fresh. Here's a breakdown of the changes coming to several high difficulty activities, starting with Lightfall. The basics of high difficulty activities. Adept difficulty is being removed. Hero difficulty will now be available at 1750 power, which is the soft cap. Legend and Master difficulties can be entered once you hit 1800. Activity levels for Season 20, Hero 1770, Legend 1830, Master 1840. We are implementing power level disadvantages to provide a better challenge curve. I like this. I like this in this season when they did this. We got Heroes -5, Legend -15, Masters -20, and GMs are -25 power, as they have been. Match game is being removed. We already knew about this. Mismatch shields will now take 50% less damage across the whole game, which is nice. What's that one weapon perk that does increase damage to shields? That's not the right type. What's that called again?
Adaptive munitions.
Yes. Adaptive munitions will be pretty sick, I think, then. Not necessary, but it would be pretty cool. But it can do, won't have the 50% less. Burns in high-level activities will be split into surges and threats. Surges increase your outgoing damage. Surges increase the elemental damage dealt by 25%. Surges for high difficulty activities change every season based around the featured damage types. Featured surge for Season of Defiance will be Strand. Got it. Weekly rotating surges will be Solar and Void. Okay. Threats increase elemental damage coming from enemies by 25%. High-level activities now also feature overcharged weapons. An overcharged weapon deals 25% more damage. Kinetic damage is also increased by 25% if using a surging subclass. Very interesting. So if you're using the subclass that matches the surge, and you'd have more, 25% more Izanagi's Burden and Witherhoard damage. We were just talking about that. Overcharged weapons can come from several sources currently. Weapons set per activity. Weapons featured as champion counters on the seasonal artifact. Overcharges and surges do not stack. Got it. Overcharged weapons do not get extra damage if they are also surging. You only need one for a given damage source. Combatants are harder to stagger, and their health has been increased across the board. Wow. This is to compensate for surge and overcharge. The effect is strongest on powerful enemies and weakest on rank and file. Dude, Destiny's about to get tough with all this stuff going. This is gonna be interesting.
So there's basically always iron, and then like half match game.
Yeah, this is gonna be wild. I like this. This is what I feel like. We haven't had some serious challenge in a while, so I'm looking forward to this. We're reading through this article right now for a video.
Damage buffs seem like they're gonna be crazy.
Yeah, equipment is still locked. We'll weigh in at the end if you guys want. Equipment is still locked on Legend and Master difficulties, as well as Grandmaster Nightfalls. Matchmaking is still available on Hero, but closed on Legend, Master, and Grandmaster Nightfalls. Modifiers that affect enemy types. Hit, for example, on Fireteam Coordination. Champion availability remains the same. Grandmaster Nightfall revive limitations, wipe conditions, and schedule stay the same. Got it. The high scorers strike back. Oh no. Ritual activities are at the core of Destiny 2 experience. That's why we have plans to improve on these familiar playlists that we all cherish so much. Today we're focused on Vanguard Ops playlist. Strike refreshes. Lake of Shadows and Armsdealer are being updated with new enemies, new encounters, new mechanics, and new objectives. Got it. We already knew about that. Expect them to be much tougher than before and less Sparrow friendly. Interesting. So if you're on your Sparrow, you already got like one shot before. Interesting. We're working on adjusting other strikes like Exodus Crash and Inverted Spire. Hopefully when they redo Inverted Spire, they just make him giant. Make a giant Protheon. Like the meme. Their presence on the Vanguard Ops playlist has been dramatically reduced. They won't be part of the Nightfall rotations until brought to parity. I like the strike refreshes. So far, all the changes seem good.
The
Of Shadows Arms Dealer so far. Vanguard Ops playlist. Saps Battlegrounds and Heist Battlegrounds will become part of the Vanguard Ops playlist.
fucking hell.
Yeah, they mentioned that before too. The playlist is now power disabled like Gambit and Crucible. This means you won't have a damage advantage over enemies or them upon you, no matter your power level. Daily rotators and weekly singes have been removed and replaced with 1 random weekly surge, 1 random daily threat, 1 daily random modifier for our best of collection, including subtle foes, lightning crystals, and more. I kind of like that there's a little bit of a random modifiers. So they got like the weekly and the dailies going on. Got Vanguard Ops scoring. They did this back in the day with strike scoring. I thought they stopped doing it because it was not that great, if I'm remembering correctly. We are adding scoring to the Vanguard Ops playlist. Just like in Nightfalls, you earn points for killing enemies and other events. The multiplier based on specific strike. The higher your score, the larger your Vanguard rank multiplier will be. Get a 1x multiplier on Vanguard rank earned for getting below 30,000 points. Multiplier increases every 5,000 points after the initial 30k. The largest multiplier available for 7 times is getting over 250,000. This applies to all Vanguard modes, including Nightfalls. Okay, this is different what I was thinking. I was thinking of they had like a weekly high score thing for Nightfalls. You remember that back in the day?
Yeah.
That was different than that. Vanguard challenges. The Vanguard screen challenges are being adjusted to reflect these changes. To complete the weekly Vanguard challenge, you will now need to complete Vanguard activities with a surging subclass. It can be either the seasonal surges for Nightfalls or Vanguard Ops weekly surge. Complete 5 activities. Get increased progress for higher difficulties. A single Grandmaster Nightfall completes this challenge. Nice. Nightfalls are dark and full of terrors. Interesting. Nightfalls are getting a tad more challenging to the point where you'll have to think twice before jumping into one without a proper build. Wow. Bold statement. Take one thing into consideration: once you reach the maximum effectiveness level, how high your power level is won't make a difference, or how many extra artifact levels you have for that matter. Battlegrounds will slowly become part of the Nightfall playlist, starting with Mars Heist Battlegrounds. We will include others in the following seasons. 2 surges available. Threats dependent on the featured Nightfall. 1 featured overcharged weapon. Combatants are harder to stagger and have more health. Nightfall activity levels for Season 20. Hero, Legend, Master, Grandmaster. Power Delta disadvantages that we already know. Maximum effectiveness targets. Got it. Nightfall's weekly challenge now requires you to attain 200,000 points across multiple Nightfall runs rather than 100k points in a single run. Okay, well. Raids and dungeons get the Power Delta treatment. Alright. We know the Master difficulty experience for dungeons and raids had its flaws, so we are making a few changes that those looking for a challenge should certainly find appealing. 1 overcharged weapon, 2 surges, no threat modifier. Combatants don't have increased health or increased stagger resistance. Want to bring them. Want to bring them. I'm in the middle of recording a video, guys. We want to bring them into line. Yes.
Yep.
We want to bring them into line with other master experiences without the need to build craft towards surges or overcharges. No activity left behind. We are aware that lost sectors and weekly campaign missions are not as rewarding as the community would like. We actually agree. Same thing with Dares of Eternity and the Wellspring. The passion around them is appreciated and your feedback is always clear. They should be a bit more challenging. Here are our plans to improve not only them, but other activities too. Lost sectors, 1 overcharged weapon, 2 surges. Threats dependent on the featured lost sector. Combatants are harder to stagger and have more health. Available in Legend and Master difficulties. Lost sectors feature 20 plus combat delta. We'll be monitoring completion rates and times during Season 20 to see if exotic Ingram drops need to be adjusted. There will be additional paths to acquiring Lightfall exotic armors that you can discover on February 28th. Nightmare, Empire Hunts, and Campaign weekly missions, 1 overcharged weapon, 2 weekly rotating surges, threats depending on activity, combatants, same thing as before. Dares of Eternity and Wellspring, same thing. Teams can wipe on a time limit if the objectives failed. Interesting. Seasonal Battlegrounds playlist shares the difficulty. Wow. Alright, well, we've read through all of it. What do you think? What are your overall impressions, Dwayne?
Seems interesting with like there's 1 specific overcharge weapon, so like you have overcharge pulse rifle or something.
Yeah.
You run a kinetic pulse. You do like a ton of damage because you get the 25% increased damage plus the overcharge damage.
Yeah.
And then you could have like your surge rocket that does 25% more.
It seems like it would be
They're
cool.
also just how it is currently is with the burns, you take 50% more damage from enemies, but now it's only gonna be 25, so they're nerfing them. So they actually do less damage to you now.
Hmm.
And then
Interesting.
iron is always on, so they just have more health.
Always have- Yeah. Seems like
It's funny that you have to be higher level to do master nightfalls than grandmasters. You have to be 5 higher.
Oh, is that real? I didn't even notice that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Very interesting changes though. Overall, I like it though. I feel like things haven't been challenging for a while, so probably good to have a fresh start with Lightfall. I feel like they kind of do this cyclic thing where the content is more challenging at the start, and then progressively we get power creep, and things get easier throughout the year. But seems like a good change
I feel
overall.
like they really just made the lower level nightfalls harder, and like grandmasters honestly are gonna be easier.
Yeah, some
Like master, people aren't gonna be like spamming master farm now because you might as well just do GM.
yeah.
Master is gonna be just as hard.
All right. Well, that's it on this new article. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all the news in Destiny 2. Smash the like button. See you in the next one. Later.